Hello everyone, I'm Devin Weisbarth and I'm here with Coach Eichmeyer, who is the men's and women's cross-country coach. How are you today?
Doing good, Devin. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Practice was not fun yesterday, but anyway. So you've been at Thiel for 2 years. This will be going on your third year,
Yeah,
correct?
just starting my third year
Yep.
at Thiel.
So could you tell us a little bit about your background and like the road to get to where you are today?
It's been a long one. So this actually is my third year at Thiel, but it's my 10th year overall coaching college. I started right out of being a college athlete to the next August being a college coach at Eastern Mennonite University. I was there for 4 years as a cross-country coach, track assistant, and then 4 years there, went back to my alma mater, Hannibal LaGrange University, spent 3 years there as an assistant cross-country track coach. And then was blessed with this opportunity here at Thiel. I felt like I wanted a team of my own to make my own decisions, to build my own program, and Thiel just opened up some doors for me, and I felt like it was a great place for me just to continue my coaching career.
So you said that Thiel gave you a good opportunity. What about Thiel attracted you, or what was attractive to you to make you come here?
I only had to coach one event. So at my other previous schools, I was coaching multiple events. So I'm a distance runner by nature. That was what I did in high school, and I was a distance runner in college. And then when I started my coaching career, I would assist during cross-country season with the cross-country coach, and then when track season would roll around, I would become the throws coach at Eastern Mennonite, and then at Hannibal, I would become the throws coach, the jumps coach, the sprints coach, hurdles coach.
Wow.
And just trying to, it was a great opportunity for me to learn new skills, because as a head coach of a program, you want a little bit of knowledge of all events, but I really just wanted to hone my skills into one event group. Distance running is my, like I said, is my by trade. So when Thiel offered me the opportunity where I only had to be the cross-country coach and then the track distance coach, it's a very rarity in college sports. So that opportunity alone, plus the administration, I just felt like had a immense support system here and wanting to grow the program, and I really just felt that when I came on my interview.
Talking about your program, what like is the strengths of your program, and what is like important to you about like the program that you like to run or that you envision?
So the strength of my program is hands down my athletes. We were coming off in 2019. We were coming off the best season that the cross-country program has seen since about 2016, and that's all credited to the athletes we have. There's a little bit of transition period when you do bring in a new coach, and on top of that, there's a big transition of just having a distance specialist coach on staff. Hadn't been around for a couple years, so just that transition, the returners that I had in last year, and then with the freshmen they brought in, they just really bought into the process. And buy-in is half the process when it comes to being a distance runner, because you've got a ton of different caliber athletes that come from several different programs, and every high school coach is different. And I have about 2 weeks to mold them into what my vision is as a cross-country program before our first race. And it really is just their motivation and their determination just to come in and want to be better. That's honestly my vision for our program, is each year we get better. So we, whether that means we get better individually, we set big PRs each year, or as a whole team, we're moving up in the conference. So if you talk to other PAC schools, when you talk about cross country, Thiel's not in the conversation, but my vision for that is to change. And when you talk about PAC cross country, you're talking about Thiel and the moves that they have made. And at the end of the 2019 cross season, we were definitely in some conversations about some big things and big moves that we were making.
That's awesome to hear. I love seeing and hearing about our sports teams doing well. Yeah. It's just I don't know, I just love it.
Yeah, it's a good feeling, because we're moving in the right direction.
Yeah. Yep. So the big thing this year was COVID-19. How has that affected your cross country, I guess, recruiting, stuff like that, and and challenges that you've experienced and that recruits or current students have experienced with
Yeah.
that?
I think a big challenge is it's hard to prepare for the future when the future's unknown.
It's a
As
big one.
coaches, we're struggling with that right now of not knowing if, the NCAA pushed our season to the spring. Well, we have track season in the spring, so what does that look like? And I think at the high school level, when you have seniors that are, are we going to have a season? Are we not going to have a season? Can my parents come watch? Can my parents not come watch? It's definitely a big uncertainty. But luckily, the PIAA has been having cross meets. We've been looking at results. I've been in contact with recruits. It's a little bit challenging, but we just find more unique ways to recruit and just reach out to those potential student athletes and just showing them, what we're doing here at Thiel and the way we're growing.
And then we talked about how it's been difficult recruiting, but when you recruit a student athlete to come run cross country, what do you look for in them, and what is something that you can sell to them that Thiel has that will benefit them for 4 years, since they're pretty much giving their life to Thiel?
Right. I think a big thing I look for in a distance runner is you have to be self-disciplined. You have to be able to be self-disciplined, self-motivated, because when I say, we have a 5-mile recovery run today at, 8-minute pace, for example, are you disciplined enough to go do that recovery run at that pace? So I talk a lot about just how you're motivated as an athlete during the recruiting process. What motivates you? Is it yourself? Is it your teammate? Is it a goal setting? Is it your coach pushing you? Because on a team of 20 distance runners, I can't be next to you the whole time on a road run, making sure you're going that pace. Another big thing I look for is your attitude. Do you have the attitude of one is encouraging, one that's motivating, to your teammates, to what we believe in within our team, and can you see the vision that we're trying to build here with Thiel Cross Country?
That's again, I like seeing sports teams just doing well. I know a big one for soccer is, not to steal your thunder, but it's I know because we're Division III, you have the opportunity to come in and compete for a starting spot right away.
Yeah.
So that's
yeah,
what
and
our sell is.
that's a big one too. As a growing program, I would be lying if I didn't say I use it as a selling point.
Yeah.
And cross country, you run 7 at a championship meet, and 5 score. But someone could have an off day, and in all reality, we run 7, we run 10. Whoever wants to be in that top 5 and score at the meet that day, it's wide open every day. It doesn't matter if you're the number 1 runner last week. You could run in a hole and twist your ankle, and now you're number 7 runner, and you're not even scoring on the team. So you're just coming up every day to work and work harder, and just knowing that your teammates are working just as hard next to you.
I know earlier we talked about with the recruiting, whether we're going to have a season and stuff like that. How does it look for you guys right now? I know for us, everything's pushed to the spring. I know for us that they are planning on having a season. Are they planning on having a season for you guys as well?
Yeah, so we're in talks right now with the other PAC coaches and the commissioner about what a season would look like. So we're for sure going to have an outdoor season, since that was taken from us last year because of COVID. There has been some talks. We're actually talking right now about a potential indoor season, what that would look like, just trying to navigate through all the possibilities. If we have an indoor season, what does that do for cross country? Because then training gets a little tricky, trying to train indoor track, mile, 800, and then turning around and the men are racing 8K or 5 miles. The training gets a little tricky, but for sure right now, unless any other major problems occur, we for sure have an outdoor season. But cross country, honestly, is still up in the air, even though the NCAA and the PAC said they moved it to the spring. It's honestly still up in the air, but we're trying to make the best decision to put our student athletes in the best possible position to be successful and to have somewhat of a a competition season, whatever that looks like.
I know you touched on it a little bit earlier, but because there is no season in the fall, how are you preparing your players, or your runners, I guess, to run and compete in the spring?
It's all base building. So in order to be a good distance runner, you have to have a base. So that's kind of what we're trying to focus on right now in the fall. And I've actually quite enjoyed it because we can focus a little more on the base running and becoming a distance runner without having to worry about getting in race shape every 2 weeks. That we can do a little bit more mileage. We can get a little more base under our belt to be successful in the spring and for future years, because distance running builds on itself every year. You get stronger. So we can actually put in a little bit more work without stressing our bodies out of getting into race shape. And another item I've really been focusing on this year is just building stronger as a mental runner. So when we get deep into the race, whether we're 2 miles in or 3 miles into the race, how mentally strong are we? Not just like body physicality always comes with it, just training. We can do that, but taking a step back during this fall and just building that mental aspect of racing and becoming just a stronger mental runner has been a focus as well this fall.
Yeah, I know for soccer, it's normally in the fall, it's every day, super hard. We're only practicing 3 days a week, so it doesn't take as big of a toll on our bodies. So I actually quite enjoy it. But
yeah, and I have less injuries this fall, not having to be in race shape as early. Like I said, we come in during fall camp and we've got about 2 weeks and we race our first time, and that takes a toll on the body. This year we can take a step back and focus more on just becoming a stronger runner, becoming a stronger mental runner. And I think honestly it might help us because we have a younger team. We might benefit greatly from having this off season right now and just being able to focus on a runner instead of a racer.
And then the last question I want to ask you is, what is so special about Thiel College in your mind?
For me, it was the community. So I had come from my alma mater. I'd been coaching for 3 years where I went to college. I was close to my family there. And then Thiel is nowhere near my family. But when I came on my interview, I just felt like I was in a sense of community. Everybody that I met on my interview, and then when I came back after accepting the position, they remembered me, they remembered my name, they were asking, how my move was. I'm constantly walking across campus and people are asking me how the program is doing, how my athletes are doing. But I think a big thing is whenever I'm walking across campus and they're asking how I'm doing. Like, they don't even ask me about my job. They're asking, like, how my personal life is. Like, how are you adjusting to Greenville? How are you adjusting to Thiel? What's going on at home? Like, things like that. They kind of just make it more of a sense of community where you aren't just the cross-country coach and they just want to know about the team and about your recruiting, but they also want to know about you as a person. So that's really nice.
That's everything I have. I want to thank you for giving us your time today.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
talking about cross country and what Thiel is and what it means to you. And so yeah, I just want to thank you.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure talking to you.